Linked up on Mark13News.com for May 21st, 2022, Moscow bans over 900 prominent Americans and accuses the United States of imposing a neo-colonial world order. But really it's the Kenites on the unipolar end of the globalist spectrum through the United States, which is the current king of the South according to the Daniel 11 hypothesis on biblicalresearchlabs.com. Moving on to May 22nd, the ongoing consolidation of the collective West, which is linked up to an article titled Relentless Push to Expand NATO, represents the United States' ill-fated attempt to restore a unipolar world, which is obviously propaganda from the Kenites on the multipolar end of the globalist spectrum, as nation continues to rise against nation, meaning the Kenite nation within the shadow government thereof, which is symbolized by the he-goat of Daniel chapter 8. And moving on to May 23rd, Unipolar West dying, says Russian intel chief. And then for May 24th, Henry Kissinger warns of Ukraine deadline, followed by Russia, which is the current king of the North, will strengthen economic ties with China. And finally, North Korea launches at least 3 missiles. And remember, Kissinger wrote on page 231 of his book, World Order, that if the concerns and goals of the United States and China could be merged over Korea, it would be a big step toward the new type of great power relations so often invoked and so slow in emerging. Linked up for May 25th is Ukraine and the unipolar mind, and then on May 26th, another sign of divisions at the United Nations, which is, in my opinion, the great horn of the he-goat of Daniel chapter 8, verse 8, that must first be broken before the so-called New World Order can come into being at the woe of the 5th trumpet at the beginning of the 5-month-long hour of temptation. And finally, linked up for May 27th, 2022 on Mark13News.com, United States seeks to preserve unipolar world via NATO. But again, it's really the Kenites on the unipolar end of the globalist spectrum pulling the strings as they fight against the multipolarist Kenites up until the great horn of the he-goat gets broken, after which the one world political system of Revelation 13 will emerge, having 7 heads, which are the 7 continents of the planet Earth, and 10 horns, which are 10 fallen angel kings, to get cast to earth with Satan at the beginning of the 5-month-long hour of temptation. And then at the woe of the 6th trumpet, in the middle of the 5-month-long hour of temptation, Satan will appear as the false Christ in Jerusalem, and that's when it goes from being a one-world political system to a one-world religious system. The true Christ won't return until the woe of the 7th trumpet, and as the true Christ says in the last verse of Mark chapter 13, what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch.